So alright guys, welcome once again to Lapote TV, the only media platform that is bringing you interviews and keeping you updated about whatever is going on in the African community here in Hamburg, to be precise. And today I'm here with a couple of people in the studio. We had a nice show with the title A Night with the King concert, and the show is over, and then we are here to have a recap of whatever happened at the event today. And so like I said, I'm here with the gentlemen and the ladies. So just by my immediate left, I have the man who decided to put everything together. He goes by KAKASHI. KAKASHI, nice to have you in the studio.
So I'm so happy to have you.
Great. And just by my far extreme right, I have with me the man divided the MD at the event, right? Yes. Okay. And then I have with me Angie Pokes. Right? I think Angie was one of the new upcoming artists on the event, right? And then with here Yvonne. I know Yvonne to be an event organizer, but I don't know whether she was coming and as an event organizer that day or she just came to visit the event. Which is it? Which is it?
I just came to visit.
All right, guys. So like I said, we are here and we want to have a conversation about what went down about the event, like I said. So KAKASHI, I'm here with you. You know, it was interesting when I was talking to you on the interview on the event. You said what you wanted to do at the event was to turn the whole place into a cinema. Did you feel like that was achieved?
Yeah, so a lot of people are asking me if that place was a church. So I believe we created that kind of impression, to make it like a cinema or maybe entertainment hall or something. So if I hear what people are asking me from outside, are you sure it is that same church? Are you sure that's same church? I said yes, it's the same church. We just did a lot,
yeah, to transform the
place.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and Yvonne, you are someone that you are in that field. I mean, I'm going to be an event organizer, event planner, all that. And looking at the atmosphere and the ambience, what would you say about how the place was looking?
It was looking like a small concert place. I mean, they did very well. They did very well because KAKASHI posted a post where the place was not looking like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so the transformation. So
it was obvious that, I mean, it was just looking like a cinema, just the way he wanted.
The way he wanted. Yeah,
that's good. And I mean, you are the MD. So MD, what does the MD actually do at the event, or what does it?
You will explain with that.
So yeah, tell us as an MD,
so
what role do you play?
With the MD role,
yes.
I was supposed to prepare the singers.
Oh, okay.
And also ensure that the instrumentalists were coordinating with the singers.
Okay.
And then from then, so all the way from rehearsal through to the event itself.
Okay.
So I was supposed to ensure that they were all aligning with what we're supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
The number of verses you're supposed to sing, the choruses and all those things.
Oh, okay.
You're supposed to remind them on stage so that you're able to sing them out.
All right. Is that something that you've been an expert on that field, something you've been doing before? You were just appointed just on this event to play that role?
I've been doing it for a very long time.
Oh, wow. Guys, you see, like I said, history has been made. It was not just about putting people from here and there to come and do something. These are people that are actually doing this already years ago, and they decide to come on board. Angie, I know you to be one of the upcoming artists.
Yeah.
Because when KAKASHI came to here before the whole event, he said he'll be introducing some new upcoming artists. As an upcoming artist, being on that stage, how did you feel? Do you feel like that this show has given you that exposure that you wanted as somebody who is stepping into that field? Yeah.
So basically, people here in Hamburg, actually, some of them, they know me because I have been on other stages.
Okay.
But this was an opening for me joining and specifically saying that now I am going into the gospel field, because first I used to do all genre of music, but then this was an exposure that this is the path I have chosen to be.
So is that to say now we'll not have you seen you back in secular music and that stuff? Because I know that feel like you said.
Yeah, we are actually working on a single, and know definitely when it comes out, we can't do it.
So once the single comes out, you are now an official gospel singer.
Yeah.
No more going back to secular music.
No.
All right, guys. So for those of you who've been calling Angie for gigs to come and sing in secular music, she says now she's fully going to gospel music, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in case you've not been seeing Angie, I guess you understand. Sometimes people cannot be everywhere. They decide to choose where they want to go. So still here, the main idea of the event or the name was what's the name? A Night with the King Gospel Concert. And with this title, even though like you said, the whole idea is to transfer the place into cinema. At the end of the day, it's all about trying to uplift the name of Christ. Do you feel like that was really achieved that day? Like Christ was really uplifted, aside turning the whole place to a cinema?
Yeah, definitely. Because even during the my media or the tour promo campaign, I was always putting God first. I said we are the main reason we are there is to glorify God. As saints come together and glorify God, and then later we do the music and then the networking as well. So like that is it.
So you felt that was achieved.
Yeah,
God was uplifted that day.
Yeah. God was really uplifted that day. Yeah.
All right, guys. So like you say in this Lapote TV, after the Night of the King concert, when discussing whatever happened, what did you think was the climax of the event?
Okay, nice question. Sincerely speaking, I'm very, very satisfied with everything. And as you guys noticed, I had to combine 3 different styles of gospel music at the same time. You see, we went to Africa where we did the highlight, we did Adwa. We came back to the Western, and then later with Sarah, the classic music vibe. So it was nice. It was like up and downs, but it was very, very nice. It was like I really felt very, very satisfied because I know that I really achieved what I wanted to achieve. Though I had a lot of things in my head that due to time I couldn't do it, but I know there's more room for improvement.
As the music director that you were on that day, so let me know, how did you go about this? I noticed it was at the latter part of the event that this guy from Africa, they say he's called Minister Gydedu, came on stage, and at the point it felt like the event ended. And then when the guy entered the stage, it's like it was even late, but people were not going. What did you think made it that way?
Okay, so basically, what Gydedu planned to sing, what we did at rehearsal, there was a complete change.
Oh, okay.
Because he was going according to the leading of the Spirit. And then what was transpiring at the event. But if you take a closer look at it, you realize that all that he said really meant a lot to the people who were around.
Oh, okay.
And it really pointed out some of the situations people go through.
Okay.
And the fact that he spoke about events that were concerning he bringing out the single or the album, and then the fact that somebody had to be in the hospital and 7 days fasting got the person healed, and all those things were kind of things that were manifesting God's glory. And in that sense, he enumerating those things and being able to kind of liaise in a way to the feelings of the people over there, and also as well putting in things that really could speak to the hearts of people who are in need of God's presence, who are in need of God in their lives. It really meant a lot. Despite the music aspects where you had to have arranged stuff where you sing choruses and verses and all those things, he went a bit, kind of according to the leading of the Spirit. So that one was way different from what we were doing earlier. But what we were doing earlier, we had arranged stuff. The singers would come to sing. The various artists had their songs that they had listed. So they came to sing the ones that we had actually rehearsed. And I think it went well. So it was quite good. And a lot of people were in the mood of dancing or in the mood of worshiping when it came to that. So
yeah, that's true. But let me ask you, for you being the one that organized the event, like you said, sometimes you schedule things, you strategize things, how it should go. Somebody coming on stage and feeling like Spirit has taken over and doing things in a different way. Do you still feel like it still goes according to plan, like to you?
Yeah, but we had everything like planned, the kind of songs he was to sing. We rehearsed with him twice, even though he came all the way from Ghana. But due to the time, sometimes a lot of the ministers, they have a time. He had a time limit to perform. It was because he was from Ghana. We gave him an ample time of 25 minutes, to perform. To perform because he was from Ghana. And when he got on stage, it was late. People were getting tired. So at that time, if he implement another structure due to the leading of the spirits, I cannot stop it.
Personally, I don't know if you ask me, but I feel like that's the climax of the event because, like you said, for you as an event organizer, you wanted to put up something like cinema, like you said, that was established. But if it's a gospel concert, you want to feel the Holy Spirit
Yes,
hovering
exactly.
around. And I don't know, because maybe I was doing interview, I was not inside earlier on, but later when I came and joined, I saw the guy performing on stage. I felt a different kind of atmosphere.
Yeah. The atmosphere changed completely. You cannot deny it. The atmosphere changed completely.
Yes. So then again, I ask you as the music director, what are some of the things you put in place, or you when you are directing people to come and sing on an event before that day? Is there any what's the word? Is there any rituals you ask them to go through, like they should fast, pray more? Because like I said, if we had a lot of people on stage and he came on stage and we could, I didn't even say it came from like you guys, that you could felt a different atmosphere. Yeah. Did you feel like the people that you were directing as the music director, they took that part, or they did some rituals so that we were to have some connection with God on the event?
Okay, so basically what happens is, if, for instance, we have a time budget that we want to do certain songs, the songs have to be broken down, then we have to harmonize the songs into different parts: tenor, alto, soprano, and the people who are involved to learn them, and then the leaders who are supposed to lead also learn their lines, and then we come on stage, we rehearse. But even as we are rehearsing, there are times that we have individual sort of engagements with God concerning the program. We pray towards it as well, and then sometimes too the group also prays into the program, and then sometimes too we could have a person who is assigned to lead us to sort of pray as and when the group meets. So there are a lot of preparations that go on, and we have the spiritual aspect and we also have the physical aspect. But sometimes too, when you are doing these things, you just have to be prepared in all aspects, so that if anything coming at any particular given time, you can be able to warm up to it and then go with the flow. Because for those who are on stage, and then the one who is leading all of a sudden is being led by the Spirit to do A or B or C, you also have to kind of get in tune with what the person is doing and quickly be able to sort of flow. If not, it's gonna be a disconnection. Once there's a disconnection too, it can also interfere with what the Spirit also wants to do. So we are always prepared anytime.
Music director, Mr. Divine. So like you said, for you on your part, you do what you can do. You can tell the people to fast, pray and all those things. But if they didn't do that, it's not like something that you have control over, right? That's what you mean?
In a way, but most of the people that we also deal with are also conscious of those things. So they are aware what can happen if they decide not to do it. Because we've been playing with a lot of gospel bands and church sort of singing groups for a while, so everybody is aware of what they are supposed to do. So once it's communicated, everybody does it.
But anyways, you're right. Sometimes, the Holy Spirit decides who he wants to use at a particular time. Everybody can decide to fast and stuff that day, but if God says this is the person I want to use to make a change that day on the event, that's how it's going to be. Because like you said, it was obvious. Everybody saw it that when Minister Gydedu mounted on stage, it was a different atmosphere. Or could it be maybe because he's coming from Ghana and we are all not used to his kind of way of doing singing, because we're used to seeing the Angie Pokes and the rest?
No, I don't see it like that. Grace and anointing are not the same.
Oh, okay.
Grace and anointing, they are not the same. And everybody has a different kind of aura around them. It doesn't matter. There are people here who we hear sing every day, and then maybe today when I sing, you might not feel the same atmosphere like you would feel the next moment. So it differs. And then the differences can be what you did in your closet before you came, the kind of heart. Because when you are ministering and then you yourself, the song is not ministering to you, you cannot minister to the people, because you need to understand what you are saying. You need to feel it before others too can just feel it. That is why somebody might not even have that melodious voice, but yet when they open their mouth to minister, like you can feel the presence and the move of the Holy Spirit.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Yvonne, you've been you're managing and organizing events, and I'm sure it's not just circular and weddings. Sometimes you get this kind of gospel stuff. Based on what Angie Pokes just said, what do you think about the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, she's right. When it comes to that, like, they planned everything, but even on weddings or birthdays, you can really plan. For example, I planned weddings for almost 1 year with a client, but on the wedding day, things will fall apart. Some stuff will fall apart, but you cannot do anything about it. And of course, you cannot go on stage and tell the person. For example, the DJ, you cannot tell him, "This is what we planned. This is what you have to do." Just let it flow.
Just let it flow.
Just let it flow. Yeah.
I mean, personally, for me, I believe that day of the event, history was made. You know, you achieved what you wanted to achieve. But do you think there's more room for improvements? Like,
obviously, there's more room for improvements because, as I told you before, what we did on that day, I think on a normal basis, if I should hire a white company to assist me, I would need that maybe 8 to 10 men.
oh, okay.
Yes. 8 to 10 men.
Wow.
Because we were working on the media team was working on the sound.
Okay.
We're working also, we're communicating also there with the instrumentalists. At the same time, too, someone was working on the lights, you know, in base of any artist or the atmosphere, we change the lights. So it was a whole lot going on. So when you say there's more improvements, for example, the time, I told my with the team that I don't want to mention names, remember to put the time there, the timing, but they forgot, for example. You understand? And at that time, we cannot do anything about it. Because obviously, I cannot do 1,000 things.
Yeah.
So I left it in the hands of the people to take full responsibility about that. They forgot. So then the MC need to chip in to stop it, which I didn't want that thing to happen. I want the artist to realize his time is due, and then he just move away from the stage, gradually away from the stage, and then we continue from there. But they forgot. And these things happen. At that time, I was just mad, but I couldn't do anything.
You couldn't do anything. I mean, it's like that. I mean, when you put people on set stages and they have to perform, like everybody feel like they want to do the maximum, that kind of thing. So, it is that thing. You know, I was actually the one doing the interviews with the people coming in backstage. And, you know, I had interaction with 1 or 2 people. And one of the questions, there was this man that was there, I think he was a bishop. And then I asked him, I mean, one thing that we normally find difficult here, that people moving from their churches to come to a different place to attend an event. And then, he said a lot, and one other man said that he saw the vision that you have. That's why he decides to come on board. Now, I want to ask you guys, what did it take for you guys to decide to be a part of this whole thing? Because I know, like I keep saying, here in Deutschland, time is of very essence. And I know it's an industry we're trying to grow, and it's not like, in a way, you've been calling a place to go and sing when you know you're going home with your 500 euro. We're all trying to help. What does it take for you guys to decide to join him on the vision that he had, even though you guys know that it's not really much money that is involved, which we all know because we are trying to push an agenda?
Okay.
Angie?
So personally, I used to sing in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
In church.
Okay.
And then even here in Hamburg, I was just singing in church, like the normal church girl I've always been. And then KAKASHI was looking for a backup singer, and then somebody called me on, and then since that day he has always been there for me. He has always been a brother, and there are times I don't even want to do this music thing, and he will be on my neck. You can do it. You have to do it. No, you have to do it. You know. And so when he told me about this project, his main purpose was not even for the known artists, but for some people like us. For people to see what's hidden in us, because he always tells us, you have something in you, you need to bring it out. So since he saw something in me, it was even a privilege to be part of the team, so that others would know what I have in me.
Others would know what else. I mean, in other words, he forced you to bring out that thing that you have in you already. And so, Yvonne, let me also ask you, I know this is not the first time I'm seeing you move with this gentleman. What made you decide to align yourself with him?
I got to know KAKASHI at Queen Judith's
okay.
concert,
Oh,
her
okay.
first concert here in Hamburg. That's where we got to know each other, and since then we've been good friends, good partners.
We
you
fight
know.
a lot too.
We fight. Yeah, I mean, it's part of a friendship. It's, you know, family members also fight. It's part of it. But yeah, I mean, he has been there for all of us.
Okay.
Money shouldn't be involved before we do something for someone. You know, if the connection is there, if the vibe is there, if you really like the person, you'll just be there to support the person.
Okay,
yeah.
We are fighting, but we are still holding on to ours. I don't know why. Anyway, so still here with you. And you as a music director, so is it something that you've been? I mean, I know sometimes it's not everybody that you can bring on board to understand the vision. Some people will want to go like, oh, I just need to be paid and I go where I go. Is it the same for you? I mean, you are being paid huge money, or you are also on board because you understand the vision?
Okay, so first of all, for me personally, I've been on a lot of projects that were sort of pioneering things in various cities and towns that I've played or directed. And it is something that has been on my portfolio for a while. So when I got to Hamburg and I got introduced to him too, and he also brought it on board, so okay, why not? Because it also sort of aligns with my portfolio as well.
Okay. So for you, it's all about building the portfolio.
Yeah.
It's good you see things from that angle. It's not everybody. I mean, when he first contacted me for this, it was the same thing he was selling to me, and I was also telling him, look, I've got what I've got going on. You understand me? But at the point we came to a consensus understanding and realized that, yeah, like I said, if you realize somebody has got a good vision, it's a good one. Sometimes it's good to align yourself and say that we all do great things. I mean, one thing I've learned about this gentleman ever since I got to know him, that I mean, he's always talking about a win-win for everybody. He sees the need for everybody to grow. Unlike, it's not everybody who sees things from that angle. So I guess that is what has made everybody to align themselves with him. And there's one thing I don't understand. It looks like all the people that come from Italy are rolling. Is it that you guys have this group that anybody who comes to Italy has to connect with? I mean,
but I always say this, compared to Germany, Italians are more united.
Oh, okay.
That's one thing. Anywhere they travel to, they have a link. You know, they have a link, and it's like that. Anywhere, we have this kind of mutual love for each other. Yeah. And it will never change.
It will never change.
Yeah.
KAKASHI, organizing this event, I know when you started, you put a lot of people on the flyer as people who are on board to sponsor the event. But one way or the other, I got to find out you are the only one who spearheaded everything in terms of financial.
Yeah. So, so a nice question. At the other time I said it, you know, sponsoring someone does not always come in form of money. As I said. Okay. You even setting up all these things for us is a whole energy light. So I also see it as sponsoring, you know. And there are some people that I have a very close, good relationship with. And that sometimes I will say, okay, I'll just put your name there, but not because you are giving me something, you know, but then I just want your name to be there. Like Kifako, for example, is Pastor Mike. He was also the MC. He's been there always for me when events happen. So I just said, okay, why not? Let me just, as a friend, because he's been very, very supportive. He also had a project going on, which was similar to what I was doing. Obviously, not the way I plan to do it. When I say, why not? I say, Daniel, I want to jump in. That's, you know, KAKASHI Music Lab. I'm not a greedy person that does it just to make it. I'm not a selfish person. When it comes to such things, I don't really mind. If even your €1 is not in, I still feel like we want to do things together, you know.
It's good you explained the way, but like I said, it's not easy actually trying to finance all this. Aside the part that everybody put their input, I mean, I could tell a lot of money went into, I saw some food, I don't know whether people cook for free and stuff like that. Yeah. And all this thing is also financed. I'm sure it came from somebody's pocket.
So that's what I was telling you before. Some of them did not really give me money as I told you, sponsor come. Yvonne, for example, she find a way to make her own pastries to come and support us, and she pokes as well. I bought some food as well because I've been an instrumentalist before. I don't want the case whereby you come to an event and then you are hungry and you are being treated like, you know. I also, you realize we also prepared a place. I want to big ups to a Chance Decor. She was the one who did for the VIPs and for the instrumentalists. You realize there was one room which was the fully, you know, furnished with food. You know, we prepared a lot of snacks as well for the VIPs and also for the pastors and co. So she was the one. Obviously we paid for it. It's not free.
Okay.
But she was the one who did all the decor and everything. So I come to the same point. Some of the girls from out of their own free will brought food, to support me in the event. But financially, everything you saw there, we did it.
I want to give a round of applause. I didn't really, like I said, history was made that day. Yeah. And so I want to find out from you as a music director. I mean, we all keep doing this thing. Like you said, for you, this is all about building portfolios. What we do here in the African community is not different from what we see our fellow musicians do up in the States. The Tasha calls and all that. At which point are we going to start making money from this thing? Is it always about building portfolios? As well as we want to help each other, we are friends. If the other people are making huge money and something from it, where are we going to make our money if it's all about just, what's the word? Supporting a brother, building a portfolio. When are we actually going to start making money just like that?
Okay, so basically with such things, you start from somewhere. And if you are noted for something and you are good at it, people will definitely patronize you.
Oh, okay.
So if you have a build up for instrumentalists, singers, musicians who are very good, they come up with something, annual programs, they do it, people get invested into it, and they start coming, and then they start enjoying the program. The program being posted on YouTube, Facebook, other places, people begin to sort of subscribe to YouTube channels and all those things just to have a feel of the program. It's marketing you.
Okay.
By the time you realize you are there and invitations start coming just like that. When you take a look at some groups like Winneba Youth Choir in Ghana, some of these things just give them exposure just one time, and by the time you realize they were just flying all over the world and going for programs. So if you also look at people in South Africa, also how they do their music, and it's like everybody's on board and they are able to do it together, and it promoted them to the extent that even in African countries where they don't speak the South African language, they even enjoy their music. So we can also do something like that similarly in Hamburg. A year or two, you realize that you build momentum and those will start coming in.
Okay, it's good you explain that way, because like I said again and I put it, I mean, when we see the Tasha Corps, who Ty Tribet and all those people, they are all in the same music industry. I'm sure most of the people they relate to are friends, people they've been in the industry with. But I'm sure when they are going, like I remember Sonny Badu as a point, he said that they said when you call him for an event, there must be some money in the account. He charged before. It's not like he's coming there for you to, So that's what I'm saying. It's all good for us to help in what we are doing. But at which point would you say, oh, folks, KAKASHI has called me. At this point, he needs to understand that we have the friendship and we have a family back home and we have things we want to. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying?
So first of all, the instrumentalists and the BBs, because some of them, they've been rehearsing since, and big ups to Divine, because Divine even jumped in at the very late, like a month, if I'm not wrong, and he still managed to work things out, because I had some issues with some of the with the BVs,
Okay.
And to answer what you are saying, before anything start to work better, you need to have the balls to invest and also build a project. Before I can start going to huge auditorium like El Philharmonie and that, I need first a huge project, and then from then, when you have this project, then you can be charging like the Tasha Corps and that. You understand what I mean? You cannot just start up and say I want to go to El Philharmonie. What are you going there?
So for now we are investing.
Exactly. This is a start. We are starting from somewhere, and when we get there, we will definitely get that kind of. Yeah.
The gospel concert was sold out. We're all aware of it. But one thing that I noticed that we said it was free, and someone would say maybe that was one of the reasons why the place was sold out. Do you really think with the next event that is coming up, if we decide or you decide to charge gate fee, you think we're still going to have the crowd like
they will? I know they will definitely pull up because of what they saw. That was what I was trying to let people know, that gospel music is not old, it's not boring, it's not old, it's not boring. And when you come, even though we're going to worship God, there is also some entertainment reserved for you. You understand? So now I know, I'm 100% sure the next event, when we put even a certain figure for what happened or transpired on Saturday, and I would have was. I know they will come. Yeah, I know they will come.
Yes. I remember quite well before you started the event. You said the whole idea was to put the upcoming artists here on the map. Unveil some of them and use them. So the Minister Gydedu them coming in later. Do you think that was still achieved? Like still putting them on the map like that?
Sure, because we still give that's the nice question. I know you asked me this question. Why did Mr. Gydedu came in? I told you before. Anything you do, if you do it very, very well, it will then transpire and echo to the people outside. Surprisingly, the team of Minister Gydedu told me they are on tour in Europe. Okay, and they've seen what I'm doing, and they believe it's gonna be a good concert, so they want to jump in. So you see,
yeah. All right, guys. So just have this in mind. Whatever you are doing out there, try to put in your best. Because for all you know, people are always watching.
People are always watching. You think maybe you are just doing it or joking, but then you realize someone is watching you, and then they jump. And as I told you, other ministers that I don't want to unveil now are interested in doing something with me, which all happened because of that with the King Gospel concerts.
Yeah, Kakashi, you are really doing a lot here, to be honest. That's one thing you've been able to do that I want to find out how you're able to do it. For most times when we have events here and someone is organizing it, if it's being organized by an African born here or someone who grew up here, you see him moving with those kind of kids that are born here, that kind of thing. But you've been able to, merge the two, like those of us who came from Africa a bit older and the kids that born here. I'm like, how were you able to get to these kids? How were you able to match these two?
I realized sort of people too. I realized the youth. Especially born here, let me put typical examples, Azaria and Hilkia. I was born in Europe as well, but I also grew up in Ghana. So normally I understand both cultures very, very well, because I can blend in both without having any issue, And I realized there is a gap, there is a distance. The youth does not really they don't really want to mingle with guys who
came later from Africa
Africa for their own personal reasons. Some doctrine that they got from their parents and etc that I want to go there. And you see the cultures are different. In Ghana we have a certain culture and they too they have a certain culture. So when you come in and you don't understand them and fuse with them, you always see them as very, very maybe they don't like you or but it's not. You need to understand them. You understand. So once you understand the culture, how they think, how they relate, then it becomes easy for you to mingle with them. You understand. So knowing already our Ghanaian community, how we behave, and understanding the European culture, the youth understanding their culture, I find it very easy to penetrate. And I'm still trying to create it. I still see there's a bridge, and there's even if you check the youth, there are churches. The youth, a lot of youth churches that are now, Pastor Elom's church, and the ones that like they kind of isolated, you realize there's a kind of isolation that they try to isolate themselves from the Ghanaian community.
I had this experience.
It's very sad. It's very sad. Like I want to be this is something that is very, very sad. Someone born here and later thinks that I'm not an African, or I cannot relate with an African.
Or I'm better.
I'm better than a Ghanaian. Yeah. This is this is a topic that we will discuss about.
Yvonne is an exceptional. Yeah, she's different.
It's very, very sad. It's very, very sad. But I begin to they have their reasons. I don't want to condemn them for that. They have their reasons, and I can't blame them for that. But at the same time, too, I personally am trying to find a way to merge both, especially when we have events to merge.
Yes.
Like to really merge them it's a work.
That's a very great thing you did.
We will definitely
find a time and come.
That's a very great thing. This is the topic that we will discuss later.
Yeah. That's a very great thing.
It's a very broad topic.
And I want to personally applaud you for that. So Angie, like I said before Kashi came here, normally when there's such an event going on and you as an artist or you're a singer you are going on, you need to have some kind of people moving you as audience or fans. Do you feel like you've been able to create some kind of fans that are here in Hamburg that anytime they hear Angie Pokes is singing somewhere back, they just want to go and watch Angie Pokes singing?
Oh yes, there's this guy that follows me on Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
And I was so surprised. I used to post adverts on Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
I was so surprised that he came there with his friends.
Wow.
I was so surprised. And then he was like, yeah, I came because of you. Every time when I sing on my Snapchat, he will send me a comment and he will say, I like your voice, and then I like how you sing. And he has seen me sing at events. And then for him to, he is not somebody that looks like a church boy. And even his friends. And then for them to come there, it was really something that gave me some kind of motivation that what I'm doing, somebody's looking at me.
And like I said, the title of the event was Night with the King. So it's all about winning souls for Christ. So I felt like through this, a soul has been won for Christ. I mean, if it's not a church going to heaven, it's not coming. He came because of Angie Polk's voice. So we are still with you, KAKASHI. Do you think there are some people you want to actually give some things and things to like that? I'm sure, like you said, a lot of people came on board. So I
also want to thank all the media houses and all the influencers. First of all, yourself. I remember you were one of the first, and you've been calling me, advising, Daniel, do you think we can remember to do this, then do that? I appreciate that a lot.
You can't just call everybody.
I can't call everyone. I'm just trying to
find a way to.
I'm just trying to make. But if I don't, there are some names. If I don't mention, maybe I will offend someone. But please. As Lapote said, the names are many, but God will bless all of you. All the influencers, especially TikTok influencers. All of you. God will bless you so much, so much, so much, so much. I also want to thank my in-law. He gave us the space, and he also had the faith in us to transform that place in the cinema. When I sent the place to him, the video, the final works to her, he said, wow, what have we been doing here till now? So I said that no, don't get discouraged. We will be doing a lot of things together. So he was very, very surprised and very, very happy. Unfortunately, he's in Ghana to bury the mom because the mom passed away. We are planning a day to be out soon of what we want to do, because we want this thing to keep on.
So the Nights with the King concert have come to stay.
Yes, definitely. We'll be doing it every year, but during the year we'll be doing other concerts too, gospel events too. So we will keep it going. We are very, very determined, obsessed, and very, very consistent. We know what we want, and I know we'll definitely get there.
Yes, for sure. Yvonne, do you have anything to say?
No.
Okay. Angie?
Okay, so all I want to say is I believe following somebody with a dream somehow in a way is going to feel a little bit shaky, but we need to give him some time. We need to understand him. Personally, I fight with him a lot of times. But I feel like when we are patient, we would get to the destination. But if we are not patient, he will get to the destination and then we'll be somewhere and we would wish if we had been patient enough, we would have been there with him. So I will tell everybody who was in the team that sometimes things are not done right. It's not his fault. It's not our fault. We are humans and then we are bent to step on each other's toes. But we should have a forgiving heart as a team. And then we will go far together.
Mr. Divine, music director, something you want to say before we leave?
So for me, I would want to say that for people in Hamburg seeing what went on at the event, I think they can also do possibly best of letting others know. So that anytime that we bring programs on board, we'll have a base of people that we can really get the programs to, so that we can affect more and more people. And then create a brand in Hamburg.
That's great. All right, guys. So like I said, this was the recap of the whatever happened at the Night with the King concerts. History has been made. I'm here with the organizers and the music director, one of the singing, one of the people who sang on stage that day, Yvonne. She was an audience there, and she's also an event organizer. So, I mean, we're trying to do something huge and something nice and something beautiful in this beautiful city of Hamburg. So if you are somebody and you feel like you also got a vision, you feel like whatever you have there align with whatever is going on, whatever you see here, look, there's always room for people to join. Now, I know most of the time, most Africans, when they come here, they feel like they want to get self-merge because of one or two things or other. But look, there are people doing nice things out there. Don't sit on your talent. Angie is an example. She came and you heard what she said. She was trying to sit on the talent till she met this guy. And then now she's out there doing great things. So please align yourself. Like I said, Lapote TV is always there for you for stuff like this. So I want to say, guys, thanks for watching this and thanks for being with us. So once again, I'll say thanks for coming to Lapote TV.
Thank you so much, Lapote. We appreciate God. Bless you.
Thank you.
Time.